It's the bushes. It's crackheads in there. There's people in there? How can you tell? Damn. That's insane. Guys, look at that, dude. Holy shit.
The causes of homelessness is due to the lack of affordable health care for families and individuals struggling to pay their monthly rent, or a serious illness that could later on have a tremendous effect on an individual, which causes them to be not suitable for work, which their income starts to decline as well as their savings, which forces them to live on the street, including from that. This is also caused from the mental illness, which approximately 20 to 25% of the single homeless population suffers from some sort of severe mental illness. Another cause of homelessness is domestic violence, which mostly has a tremendous effect on women that live in poverty, that get abused, often forced to choose between abusive relationship or being homeless, which it is a very difficult case for them because most of the victims aren't able to find shelter through friends, family, or available community resources. In 2013 survey by the National Center on Family Homelessness, approximately 50% of all women who are homeless report that domestic violence was the immediate cause of their homelessness, which leading up to the drug addiction is often cause of homelessness. Addictive disorder could affect relationship with family and friends and often cause people to lose their jobs for people who are already struggling to pay their bills. The addiction may cause them to lose their housing and forces them to live on the street, in which a 2008 survey by the United States Conference of Mayors asked 25 cities for their top 3 causes of homelessness. Substance abuse was the single largest cause of homelessness for the adults, reported by 68% of cities. Substance abuse was also mentioned by 12% of cities as one of the top 3 cause homelessness for families.
Many people find themselves in situations causing them to have no money and no roof over their heads. The people who constructed this bush home have turned their poor situation into something creative and helpful. Although these people have had the opportunity to build a shelter, many others are still struggling. A lot of homeless people have no choice but to make home on the streets and sidewalks. Some even create colonies and doorways of rundown businesses. Some consequences that homeless people face are feeling worthless, struggling to find food and water, finding a place to stay, and for some, coping with drug addiction is the biggest issue to deal with.
Even though we have just made the severity of homelessness apparent, here are some proven solutions to reduce our issue. The Coalition for the Homeless has been battling homelessness in New York since 1981, and they have provided 3 solutions that have worked so far. The first being prevention through the use of funding for low-income citizens. This is key in keeping a potential homeless out of the streets because it helps struggling citizens afford their homes. The next is the right to shelter. After winning a legal battle against the state of New York, homeless people now have a right to shelter. This is important because many of the problems homeless people face is hypothermia and other weather-related sicknesses. Finally, by giving the homeless housing and support systems, the numbers of homeless people will begin to drop as they start to transition into society once again.